personal log 6122018. Here the object now is on the right side of the sun. So I'm going to zoom in on this area. There was one over here for weeks, and it drained this area. So we're going to look at this one now. Apparently there's something about this height, this latitude of the sun, that does something to attract these units. This is 2 frames a second. So that really wasn't that good, but it's going to get better, I believe. Here is 211 angstroms. It doesn't really help to watch the whole movie because it's just starting to come into appearance because everything is a couple days behind. 612. Well, I guess that's current. So it's starting to appear. You can see all this energy coming up from the sun and just being absorbed by a stellar core. Now here is our solar winds. I'm not giving the speeds today, but I did elongate this admittedly to show the Earth as an egg because we have forces from the right and forces from the left, which compresses, look at that, look at all that energy, almost equal, which compresses the Earth, and all the energy moves into everything that moves in the Earth, and the tectonic plates move, and we have earthquakes. So that seems to be increasing earthquakes in the world. So here's this is Dutch Sense. This is the guy I go to for earthquakes. He understands it really well, better than the USGS. So I'm just going to listen to him for a second, or a little bit.
You'll see we have 4.7, 4.1, 4.6, 4.4. Well, these 2 sets of quakes are on both sides of this letter V. Letter V stands for Dukono volcano, which is right at the location, and it's erupting as well. So we have 4 volcanoes erupting simultaneously, which is a rare occurrence over here in eastern Papua New Guinea, and simultaneously the 5th volcano is erupting right here at Dukono. Both are surrounded by earthquakes. As we go up to the north, you're going to again see that Japan was hit right in our warned area next to the...
So here's Fukushima. Here's an earthquake. The 9.2 was off here. There was another one that was about 9.0 here recently, but no one reported on it because they don't want you to worry about all these nuclear power plants along the coastline, just like in the United States, just like in California, Diablo Canyon, or whatever names they give their murder machines. Here's something that has to do with communication and free speech, which is being eliminated, reduced, restricted by our present fascist government. Obama was no different. He's a fascist. He said that there was nothing to worry about from radiation after Fukushima blew up. So they're just all sort of Nazi-ish.
So here's from Forbes. Net neutrality rules end today, but service and the fight won't change right away. So here's what it means according to Forbes. Under net neutrality, internet service providers, ISPs, treated all the data the same. So everything traveled at the same speed. But now, with net neutrality repealed, ISPs can block or slow down websites. ISPs can also charge more to view selected sites. ISPs, again, are the people who bring you they're your cable company, your internet company. ISPs must notify the public directly or through the FCC when they block or slow down sites or charge higher fees. They must notify.
Anyway, it's just all bullshit rules for these companies who are not going to follow them, and they're going to charge you more money. So if you want access to the internet, you're probably going to have to pay 40 to 50 more bucks a month to have high-speed internet, because they don't want you to have any information, because this is the shit that happens. This is number 4 at Fukushima blowing up in a nuclear explosion, which all came to the West Coast in 3 or 4 days, which Obama said, don't worry about it, you stupid shits. You're just all freaking out about nothing. And Hillary Clinton told her staff, I'm going to stay inside. I suggest you do the same. So news will become more restricted, and people will become denser than they are already.
In helicopters to try to spray water. What do you make of that?
It's like using a squirt gun against a forest fire. I mean, it's pathetic. One helicopter can't even get close because of the high radiation levels. And firemen with water cannons, they can't even reach the distance because...
All of the helicopter pilots that flew over Chernobyl and dropped whatever material they used to slow down the reaction are dead. They all died within a week or so. Didn't hear that, did you?
Because it's too radioactive.
All right, what about using sand and concrete as they did at Chernobyl?
That's the final option. I think right now the Japanese government should put the Air Force on alert. That's what Gorbachev did in '86, put the Red Air Force on alert, armed them with helicopters, borated water, sand, concrete, and dumped 5,000 tons of concrete on the Chernobyl reactor, stopping the reaction.
Even at Chernobyl, the so-called sarcophagus, that's what they called it, it eventually cracked and leaked radiation into the atmosphere. I think it's still leaking.
These reactors are 100 times more powerful than Chernobyl. And the one blew up. And they said Chernobyl melted down 30%. I think that's a lie too. But okay.
Right. It's still on. The core is still melting into the earth. But the main thing is to stop it, because if this thing has an uncontrolled release of radioactive fission products, we're going to lose a good chunk of northern Japan. Japan as a nation's integrity could actually be threatened. And that's why I think the main thing right now is to stop it. We can debate about secondary long-term effects later, but the main thing is to stop the bleeding.
And plutonium is actually created during the fission process. It's more dangerous than...
So here's the height of the buildings. I think that one's must be number 2. So that must be 1 and 3, and they don't want to show 4 again because it's gone. It's the one that had a nuclear explosion. So all the fuel pools are gone. Everything's gone. What this guy just said about Japan, they're all screwed over there. Sorry. And on the West Coast, we're screwed. But as long as people can make money and the capitalist system survives, everything's fine. More happy news to follow.